That, ladies and gentlemen, is Lake Point Tower. Now, Lake Point Tower is a residential building. It's a condominium complex. In terms of height, it's roughly the 26th tallest building here in Chicago. But in terms of floors, it's the 6th tallest building. This is because a building in Chicago usually has an average ceiling height of about 10 feet. This building has an average ceiling height of about 8 feet, so they cheated a little bit to fit a few more floors in. Now, many famous people have stayed at this condominium complex over the years, including the likes of Sammy Sosa, formerly of the Chicago Cubs, Scottie Pippen, Alice Cooper. She spent an extended period of time in that building. Chris Farley spent a lot of his later years there. And my favorite woman on the planet, Oprah Winfrey, spent a grand total of 2 weeks inside this building. A little halfway house for her before she realized she had enough money to start annexing our city. Now, the reason this building is on our tour is because it's interesting in the fact that it's arguably illegal. This is because in the early 1900s, Daniel Boerne, this established Chicago architect, published this law which stated that no residential building can be built on land east of Lakeshore Drive. The architect of this building found a loophole in that law with the key phrase, on land. No residential building can be built on land east of Lakeshore Drive. Well, this is a residential building, and it is east of Lakeshore Drive, but it doesn't check the final box for, as these trees move out of the way and we come profile with the building, you will see it isn't touching any land east of Lakeshore Drive whatsoever. This building was built on stilts, ladies and gentlemen, on top of a previously existing parking garage. You can see it there, perched precariously upon those stilts on top of that parking garage. And so, while this building is a residential building and it is east of Lakeshore Drive, it can never be torn down because it isn't actually touching any land east of Lakeshore Drive. Talk about the fine print. And the other day I was giving a tour to a group of 3rd graders, and this little 3rd grade boy raised his hand, so I called on him, and he goes, "Oh, Lake Point Tower, is that the building that looks like a flask?" And I said, "Yes, 3rd grade child. It does look an awful lot like a flask." Very intuitive of him. Now, the next structure on our tour isn't actually a building, it's a bridge. The Lakeshore Drive Bridge, ladies and gentlemen. I was around there yesterday watching our 4th of July fireworks. Really, really stunning. And this bridge is actually, it's just one of the 37 bascule bridges we have here in Chicago, but this one is noted for its own little story. And that's that back in 2004, the police evicted a homeless man who was living underneath this bridge by the name of Richard Dorsey. And when he was evicted by the police, he told them he'd been living underneath there for 3 whole years. Now, while that in itself isn't particularly impressive, I think this is. Richard Dorsey was the proverbial Batman of all homeless people. And I say this because Richard was smart. So smart, he figured out a way to tap into our city's electrical supply. So this homeless man had with him, set up and working, a 19-inch flat screen television, a microwave, a mini fridge, and a Sony PlayStation. I don't know how on earth he got his hands on all of those things, but he had it all set up and working nonetheless. Now, if you guys actually look to your left, you'll see the next building on our tour. It's this lovely grey building in the background there, that large cinder block of a building with the black stripes running down the sides. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Aon Center, 3rd tallest building in Chicago, the tallest with no major antenna on its roof. Now, this building wasn't always that grey colour you see there. It used to be pink. It was made of this beautiful Italian marble. However, the architect of the building did not expect to encounter Chicago's notoriously cold winters. So come late October, early November, the marble starts to crack and crumble under the intense pressure of the cold winds and actually starts to fall onto the people below. So what they had to do was play a life-size version of that game Jenga. Do you guys know that game where you take a brick out of the building and then you got to put another one